Don't go broke in a nursing home. We are back on Wave Listens Live with the Elder Advisors, and we were talking in the commercial break. You said that Autumn didn't contribute enough in that block. So.
Yeah, I thought, quite frankly, quite frankly, Kentuckian deserves to know what we talked on the break. I thought Autumn's delivery in the first segment was flat and unresponsive. So now we're going to talk about it now.
And I've decided I'm going to place him in a nursing home.
He's given me that same critique before, so it's all good.
He won't be here next time.
If Larry's not here the next time, you guys
know what happens.
It's only 2 women, no more 3 women.
Don't think too much into it.
But Autumn truly is our placement angel because we didn't really work out to end up having just a referral source, but so much of the struggles are families, they're still at home or they're in rehab in the hospital trying to go to rehab. So Autumn has been the navigator with these families because it is so difficult to find a bed now. And with that, I'm going to let Autumn kind of dial down on what she does because it is truly an appreciated job. It's just not really.
And you need somebody like you who knows this system and knows how to do it.
It's very hard. I feel like I'm learning more every day. There's always something to learn. If I have to call Lindsay and ask, or Marianne and ask, or maybe I call the nursing home, hey, what does this mean exactly? But there's the language, there's placement, there's no beds, and then you get lucky if you get a bed. And I mean, it's just so hard to find placement in Kentucky right now.
There's a million moving parts.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's male, female, it's memory care, it's
or if it's a couple. So that's even harder, and I'm dealing with that right now.
I think you touching on how as a professional who's working on this every day for families, you're still taking in new information and learning something every day. If you were somebody, and that's why you need an expert with you along in this process, because how in the world are you supposed to sit at home and take care of all that and do all of that learning yourself when you have everything else to worry about?
A lot of times the nursing homes, they know us, they know what we do, how we do it, we get things done, so they'll talk to us.
That relationship.
And they may not have the right questions, if you're calling yourself, you may not have the right question when you call a facility to get the right answers.
And
so we like to help navigate.
The facilities are busy. Everyone is so busy. And I had this conversation with a client just yesterday, and they were like, well, you think you could get Dad placed? I was like, yes. And Dad had left rehab and was now at home with the daughter, and it wasn't going great. There was a Medicare denial, insurance option, replacement plan denial. So they were just so many things going on. And just in our first meeting, they're like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And it's like, you have so many options. And I said, they don't know you, but they know Autumn, because Autumn's not calling the main number.
Right.
Autumn's got the cell phone number. She's over here texting.
So go in person, whatever.
The VIP, the VIP group.
Right.
So.
And to the point of that, in the green room before the show, Autumn's getting an email from a community down in E-Town. I'm going to E-Town tonight.
Okay.
The son, he's kind of slowing down. The son who's taking care of mother, who's in the nursing home, I'm doing a home visit, kind of like Doc on Gunsmoke. I'm going to the home. Friday, traffic, but that's what I do.
You don't get
it's
that.
It's got to get done.
You don't get that with other people. And so
you can't just waste time. You have to go.
I got to get it done. A Rolling Stone gathers no moss. This is urgent. We got to get it done. I'm happy to help this gentleman get this across the finish line. But the other thing I want to go back with Lindsay is there's families out there that are like, well, we just went to the nursing home, we're getting rehab. We don't need to worry about that workshop right now because we're getting 100 days. I want Lindsay to speak to that because that's a unicorn in Kentucky, and it doesn't exist.
Okay.
It is. And so when we talk about traditional red, white, and blue Medicare, not even a conversation about replacement plans. When I have clients that are approaching 20, 25, or 30 days used, I get extremely nervous. Like, oh gosh, what are we doing? What's the discharge plan? Is there a discharge plan? Are we transitioning long-term care? Because the nom-knock is coming. And if you don't know, you don't know. But if you know, you know. And that's a notice of Medicare non-coverage. It comes down, they're signing it, and mom needs somewhere to go tomorrow.
They got, what, 2-day notice for that?
So then they call in the last minute, I'm looking for placement.
Now it's urgent.
It's so unfair, and it's just such this idea that 100 days exists, and it just doesn't. The regulation says there's 100 days available, but folks just aren't getting 100 days. They're not. You have to show continuous improvement, so that's complicated by things like dementia.
Even if you were to get 100 days, you still have to be ready for your placement option, because you may not be able to stay at that facility.
Sure.
So the folks that are like, it's fine, she just went into rehab. Okay.
And maybe you go to rehab for a week and you go home. It's still a good time to call us because we want to kind of line things up in case there's a next time.
Yeah, for sure.
You may not be so fortunate.
It is never too late. That's why we're doing the workshops, Brian.
To Adam's point, that's a great, if you have had if you yourself or you've had an adult parent who have had an episode, just a fall or whatever it was, and went to rehab and came home, a lot of times that goes really smoothly, right? But statistically shows that your chances of that happening again sometime in the next 6 to 8 months is extremely high, and we don't want it to happen. But wouldn't it feel better to be prepared for it? So that's somebody who should call. Is anybody who's done rehab and maybe is back home?
Because we can slow walk the process, but at least have it.
We can get
to
it
where it's ready and green lighted when it's time.
Simmering on the back burner, ready for you when you need it.
And I think to have people that you're working with that you feel so comfortable around, that they will walk up and give you a hug, that you on Friday is going to fight Friday weekend traffic.
I'm going down 65 with the
super happy I'm not
be
going.
there for them. I mean, that's not something that you're going to get if you're trying to go this road alone.
No,
and so,
there's often a legal component. We're not attorneys. That's why we're delighted to have Bob Marshall at the Monday event and attorney Laura Williams for the Indiana Tuesday and Wednesday in Corydon. But a long journey begins with its first step, and it's like Lindsay said so many times. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago or today. Get it done and start. It's never too late. We can always protect those assets and give peace of mind.
Freeworkshop.com. Freeworkshop.com. 855 Larry 55.
It answers all of your questions.
Okay.
I don't give that number 855 Larry 55 to AJ Fleming.
One day it'll be Lindsay.
Really kind of 55. So I don't give him the number. He's kind of clingy right now.
I've heard that about him.
Right? It's true.
From you.
Right. That's also true.
My poor husband.
But the other thing is, hey, Kentuckiana, I'm living, I'm not existing. I'm having the time of my life. I've got great people. I love them all. Certainly the ladies on the stage here today with us, they do such a great job for me. Kudos to Lindsay. Kudos to Autumn. The rest of the team.
We're counting you out, Larry. Give it back to Brian.
I couldn't close it out any better.
Today.
Have a great weekend.